Whoa, what up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. What a start to the show. Ooh, man, it's like, I shouldn't have that popcorn. So what's up, guys? I got like something stuck in my teeth. I'm gonna turn off my camera while I dig in my teeth, guys. Okay, it's still not gone, but whatever. How you guys doing? What's good, people? What's good? So today, we are going to be discussing some of the Muslim sisters' reaction to Roe versus Wade. And I have seen, Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I've seen some sisters mad that Roe versus Wade has been overturned. I find that very odd. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. I find it exceptionally odd that that sisters are upset about this. I mean, give me 1 second. You know, I want to make a point here too, and I just need to look for it. What is it? What do we call it? We're going to go over a lot of information here that's going to show that this whole thing, this whole show that they're doing with what do you call this? With the Roe versus Wade has really nothing to do with reproductive rights in that sense. But I'm trying to find the information right now, so just give me a bit to look for this stuff. But anyway, I guess it's going to take a little bit of time to find this stuff. But here we are. So anyway, what triggered this video? I made the mistake of going on Facebook. Oh man. And you know, Facebook is just I don't know how to place it. Oh my. So let me see if I can find this information because I'm looking for some specific data. But anyway, Facebook. Yes, there we go. Very important point right there. And if you have an opinion on this, in the comment section, in the description, is the link to the StreamYard. You can come on and you can give me your position. You can let me know. We could chop it up. But I want to talk about the Muslims. So anyway, sorry, going back to the point. So I was on Facebook, and there was a lot of sisters. And a lot of sisters were upset, you know, that Roe versus Wade had been overturned. And obviously, sisters being Muslims, I was kind of surprised about this because the Islamic stance on abortion is pretty clear. And we're going to go over that also. But first off, you know, just in case you lived under a rock or you're not from America, if you are American, you've lived under a rock. If you're not American, then maybe it doesn't make sense to you. But what is Roe versus Wade? So what we're going to do here, actually, let me just go ahead and share the screen. Let me do this. Share screen. Let's see, Chrome tab, boom, share. So here we go. Let me just make sure that's displaying properly. So here we go. So we're just going to go with the straight Wikipedia. What is Roe versus Wade? Where's my shared screen? So, Roe versus Wade, 1973, was a landmark decision of the United States Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States generally protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion. The decision, which struck down many U.S. federal and state abortion laws, fueled an ongoing debate in the United States about whether or to what extent abortion should be legal, who should decide the legality of abortion, and what the role of moral and religious views in the political sphere should be. It also shaped debate concerning which methods the Supreme Court should use in constitutional education. I don't know if you need to go into these to the rest of the details, but basically, there you have it. That was Roe versus Wade in a very, very short nutshell. Hey, salam alaikum, bro. Welcome.
Salam wa rahmatullah. Sorry, I was praying. Sorry for being late.
I don't hear you, actually.
You do not hear me? Okay.
Is that my sound or is it your sound?
Do you hear me?
I don't hear you, bro.
Hey.
Let me having some technical difficulties here, guys.
It is
Can
from
you guys
your
hear,
side.
Coach Kareem?
It is from your side.
Audio, speaker. It's me. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, now my sound's working.
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. It was me. I had the wrong device plugged in.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry for being late. I was praying.
No. So that's the basis of Roe versus Wade. So let me go ahead and kill that here. Remove. Stop screen. So now we know basically that the Supreme Court flipped the script on these girls. There's like, from a federal position, we're backing out of this. We're not going to have anything to do with this. We're going to let the states decide whether or not abortion is going to be legalized. So I think there's something like 22 states right now. I'm not really sure, but I think it's about 22 states have decided that they are just basically going to ban abortion. So just under half of the United States said abortion's out. We're not going to accept it.
After a certain number of weeks, not like at all.
Yeah. Of course, there's stipulations, but yeah. With some constraints, abortion is generally going to be disallowed. And like you said, after a certain amount of weeks, you can't do it at all, which is very close actually to the Islamic position, because in some cases abortion is allowed, and after a certain period of time, it is absolutely disallowed. But we're going to get into the rulings on that and some of the statements of the ulama and the sheikh later on. So the problem with abortion in America, in my humble estimation, and why I'm confused as to why Muslim sisters I agree, and we're going to get to that point. I 100% agree, and I'm going to get to that point, and that's the data I was looking for to make this point right here. This is going to be a thing. So anyway, the problem with abortion in the West is, or at least in America in specific, is it was no longer about the health of the woman. They called it reproductive rights, women, but really it was about situations and extreme cases in general from a medical position. But it basically became birth control. I mean, women just decided, hey, you know what? I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to take birth control. I don't want to ask my partner to use a condom. I don't want to get my tube tied. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let random dudes bust off inside me. And when I get pregnant, I'm going to go get an abortion.
Yeah.
So it became a means of birth control as opposed to a medical procedure, extreme case. That's what abortion was meant to be. If I'm not mistaken, I'm reading too here, but my understanding was in the beginning, abortion ending human life. I'm not sure what anybody says. Ending a human life in an extreme case where the mother's life is in danger, again, which is close to the Islamic position. Now, I'm perplexing. Well, no, you know what? Let's continue. Now, one of the reasons, let's just jump right into this right now, actually. Let's not save this for later, since we're just dealing with the legalities and like Western society in general. As we know, Western society, they're having a population collapse. We are in utter free fall when it comes to population and replacement populations.
Since
We
50
are
year, by the
trying
way.
to literally, huh?
Since 50 year.
Yeah, exactly. The last time the United States saw an uptick in birth rates was 2014. It's 2022, people. That's the last time we saw an uptick in birth rates. The African American population has been on rapid decline for quite some time. Everybody keeps on saying we're 13, 14% of the population. No. With the way that they abort children in the African American community, I highly doubt that's accurate. But the reality of the matter is, I think this is all 100% opinion right now. I think the United States just ended that whole Roe versus Wade thing because it's not sustainable looking at our population and how it's declining so rapidly. It's just not sustainable. They need more people. And we've figured out that causing instability around the world and then taking in all the refugees, so cause some trouble taking the refugees, is not working anymore. There's not enough refugees coming from all these war zones and all these terrible dictators that we supported at one point, from all these wars, these horrible wars that we've been, very, very, very instrumental in causing to happen. All these refugees, it's not enough. So you know what? Y'all gotta have them kids. The government just basically said y'all gotta have them kids. We don't care. We'll take them. We want them anyway. Mm-hmm. So my humble estimation, the West is going to follow. They're eventually going to be like, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. And we're going to see an expansion across the West of the end of legalized abortion. I mean, there'll of course be stipulations, but they're not going to make it so simple. It's going to be it's going to become increasingly more difficult and more and more and more and more and more difficult. So, yeah, I'm doing my part, bro. So let's get into some other stuff here. So let me see if I can find it. I got all the tabs open. I'm kind of semi-prepared. Oh, no, let's kill that. Let's kill that. Okay, so this is a question. Now we're going to go into the Muslims. Now we talked about the sisters. Why are sisters mad that Roe versus Wade has been canceled? Why would a Muslim woman be interested in this? Because generally it's used by women who are reproductively irresponsible. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It doesn't make sense otherwise, because there was something like, what was it? Last year, something along the lines. Hold on, let me Google it before I give out some bad numbers.
I believe it is out of jail card for promiscuous Muslims.
It really is. But let me see. Yeah, I was right. So, basically, the number one cause of death in the world is abortion. It's not war. It's not the booger bug that we just got out of for 2 or 3 years. It's not HIV. It's not drowning shark bites black people. The number one leading cause of death of humans in the world is abortion. 43 million killed last year alone. Let that sink in. 43 million killed last year. They didn't kill that many people in World War I, World War II, Vietnam combined. That's including civilians.
Of over 20 years, Abuamerican, it is 1.5 billion globally.
But think about this, bro. We had World War I, World War II, Vietnam. You could throw in the Korean War. Guess what? If you throw in the civilians, they didn't kill that many people. 43 million in 1 year. and they killed more people than all those wars combined in a
In one
single year.
country. In one country. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so shocking. I just lost my point. Dudes, process those numbers. Process those numbers. That's insane. So anyway, sisters were mad about it. I don't know why they would be mad about, like, the inability to take, like I said, irresponsible reproductive decisions and choices, because as Muslims, we ain't supposed to be out doing things that would be considered irresponsibly reproductively, whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know how to say it, but we ain't out here supposed to be just like, just letting dudes randomly nutting us and then, like, getting an abortion when it goes bad. That's not really the Muslim way. So someone has to help me understand why sisters are mad. But I want to get into the Islamic point, and then we're going to freestyle. I want to get into the Islamic point here. So, seeking abortion due to the inability to look after additional children. Question, and this is answered, in case anybody's wondering, by Sheikh Uthaymeen, rahimahullahu ta'ala. He says, question, or excuse me, let's go into the question. Question, there's a woman who has been unable to conceive. The doctors carried out some tests and discovered the eggs in the womb are dead. So they carried out an operation to implant more eggs, and now she is pregnant with 4 babies. When the doctors discovered this, they informed her husband, and he said he does not want 4 because his wife may become tired and become overcome by the pressure. So he said to remove 2 and leave the other 2. The doctor said they will not do that without a fatwa from the noble Sheikh Mohammed bin Salih Al Uthaymeen, rahimahullah ta'ala. Keeping in mind that the duration of the pregnancy is 3 months, is it permissible for the doctors to carry out the operation since they have put on hold the operation until they receive your verdict? And may Allah reward you with good. The response from the noble and esteemed Sheikh, may Allah have mercy upon him. Regarding the implanting of eggs, we shall not discuss this because this stage has now passed. So he probably would have made a ruling on that. As for the removing of some of that which she is carrying, meaning the 2 eggs or the 2 children in the womb, and while she has apprehensions in proceeding with all 4, then so long as the pregnancy has not passed 4 months, there is no harm in this. So he goes on to say, however, if the period of 4 months has passed, then it is not permissible to abort under any circumstances. So this goes back to, like, what Coach Kareem here was saying. Like, some of the states, there's a certain time frame that they give you, and then you can't abort anymore. So, like I said, this is closer to the Islamic stance than anything else. I mean, this is what sounds very,
That, by the way, Abuamerican, this is one of the school of thoughts of Islamic scholars. The other one, which is I see most accurate, which is 40 days, 40 days, not 4 months. And
yeah.
yeah, sorry, from
No, go ahead.
scientific point of view, 6 to 8 weeks, you can like the nerve system and the brain functionality is functioning. You have a heartbeat and you have consciousness, and he can feel pain. So he is human being after 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and yes, I saw this. I think I have one of the fatwas here. I don't have many fatwas here right now. Because you can go on this for hours. We can, like, fill it with fatwas for like 3 hours. So the question was asked to, who was this to? Abdul Aziz ibn Abdullah ibn Baz, rahimahullah ta'ala. And so the brother says, excuse me. So he says, your question. So he's asking about a woman who is our sisters who were raped back in the 80s in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And he says, what is the ruling on these women? Is it allowed for them to get abortions because they were victims of rape?
Grape.
And he said, excuse me?
The algorithms. Grape.
Ah, yes, grape, yes. Yeah. Oops, I'll edit that. So he says, as to regards to the issue concerning the children, that it is obligatory upon the Muslims to take charge and custody of them and bring them up with Islamic manners, and not to leave them for the Nasara uh, and other than them, as Allah has says in the Quran, and believing men and women are awliyas, helpers and supporters and friends, protectors to one another. And he said the Muslims, in their mutual love, kindness, and compassion, are like a single body. And when one of its parts is in agony, the entire body feels that agony, and both sleep with fevers. Um, as the ruling is that the orphans without fathers, so there are. What he's saying is pretty clear, but we're going to get into that. And Allah has legislated kindness and charity to the orphans specifically. So basically, he's saying here that's not a reason. He's saying take those children, give them to the Muslims to raise. So basically, like raise them as Muslim orphans, that they're considered fatherless, and that they are to be raised by Muslims as Muslims.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
But there's
not
more.
it is not the child's fault. Like he did
No,
not do anything wrong.
no. As it was said, and there's actually a movie quote, it's not the child that needs killing. So, in these particular cases. And in this last one, it's a little bit longer. So I'm just going to read the Islamic teaching on abortion, because it's quite comprehensive. It covers the legal definitions and whatnot. So we're going to go into Islamic teachings on abortion. So this discussion result, and this is you can find this on abukhadija.com. Whether you like him or not is your problem. I don't care. But it goes on. He goes on to say the discussion revolves around a particular hadith wherein the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated, "The creation of each of you is brought together in the belly of his mother for 40 days, like our brother Coach Kareem was just saying, in the form of a seed, then a cloud of blood for a similar period, then a morsel of flesh for another 40 days." And then it is sent to him an angel who blows in the breath of life into him, and who is commanded with the writing of the four affairs to write down his means, his livelihood, his lifespan, his actions, and whether he is happy or he is unhappy. And this is in Bukhari and Muslim. So the growth of the fetus in the womb goes through 3 stages. The first stage is 40 days as a seed. The second stage of the next 40 days is a cloud of blood, and the third stage for 40 days is a morsel of flesh. Then the soul is blown into him. At that stage, he or she is considered a person. The Orthodox Muslim scholars of our times have stated the pregnant woman is not permitted to abort her fetus at any of the 3 stages. At any of the 3 stages. Let's back this up. The pregnant woman, aka the Muslim one, is not permitted to abort her fetus at any of the 3 stages except for a valid Islamic reason. So if the pregnancy is still within the first 40 days, and the fetus is still a seed, and there is a good Islamic Shari'i reason to abort or avert harm to the mother, then it is permitted to abort the fetus at that stage. A good Islamic reason does not include a fear of not being able to educate or cultivate one's child, or fear of not being able to financially provide for the child or its education, or due to one being satisfied with only a limited number of children. So let's say you have 6 kids, you don't want 7. That's not an excuse. That's not a reason. That's not considered an Islamically legislated reason. All of these are un-Islamic reasons for terminating a pregnancy. If the pregnancy has gone past the initial 40 days, then its termination is impermissible. That is because beyond 40 days excuse me, I'm reading very fast. That is because beyond 40 days, it is now a clot of blood, and that is the beginning of the physical creation of a person. So it is not permitted to abort the fetus once it has reached the stage unless there is a decree agreed to by a trustworthy medical committee that to continue with the pregnancy would be dangerous to the life of the mother, and death is feared for her if she is to proceed with the pregnancy. Permanent Committee of Scholars in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Now, let's go back to here. Let's look at this again. So after the 40 days, what does he say? Once it has reached the stage, because beyond 40 days now a cloud of blood, and that's the beginning of a physical creation of a person. So right here, that is because beyond 40 days is now a cloud of blood, and that is the beginning of the physical creation of a person. So this whole clump of cells thing, I didn't see any sisters saying this, but a'udhu billah if you did. So you are in opposition.
By the way, By the way,
Mhm.
Abu American, this sheikh did not know embryology, but he's quite accurate that there is a physical human being after 40 days. He's formulated while it's like so small, but he's formulated. He's functioning.
Yeah.
So he's accurate.
So this whole clump of cells thing, bata, falsehood, just blah. So yeah. Then he just goes on to say, so in short, abortion is only permitted in certain justifiable circumstances, such as danger to the mother or other situations. Ensoulment takes place after 17 weeks of the conception. So some Muslims have stated that the three stages take place within 40 days, and ensoulment comes shortly after that. And they therefore prohibit abortion after 6 weeks, 40 days. This, however, runs contrary to what is apparent in the hadith quoted above. The hadith quoted above. This discussion should enlighten you to ethical questions and so on and so on and so on. So, like he said, mentioned hadith. This means the statement of the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This ain't some fancy story. This ain't some goofball like just stuff just being mentioned by some weirdo. We're talking about a hadith.
And there's
Why are
ayah
sisters mad?
supporting this, by the way.
Yeah,
لا
yeah.
تقتلوا
He
لا
mentioned some
تقتلوا
ayah.
أولادكم لا تقتلوا
Anyway,
أولادكم خشية إملاق الله يرزقكم وإياهم. That means do not kill your children in afraid of being poor, because God will give you and give them the rizq. So do not do that. Yeah.
you so so I have to wonder again, and I have to think out loud and question out loud. Why are sisters mad about abortion being overturned, Roe versus Wade being overturned? Why would a Muslim woman who understands just a little bit about our religion, because this isn't rocket science here. This stuff I knew this back like a long time ago. Why would you be having? I mean, is it ignorance? Someone help me understand this. I want to know. I want to know, like the song says, why? Under what pretense would you be mad, knowing how abortion is used in the 21st century? It's not used to save the lives of mothers. I mean, maybe there are some cases like that, but there weren't 43 million cases of women about to die last year from pregnancy. Where have you seen Muslim women being upset about at the abortion ruling? I'm really surprised. Facebook. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. Facebook. And it wasn't a few. It was quite a few. I mean, it wasn't a few. It was quite a few. To the point that I was like, wow, here I am making this video. Insanity. Just like you're asking, where have you seen this? I was asking myself, why am I seeing this? I'm here for answers. And I want to know. But inside the comment section, actually, let me just go ahead and post right here. Let me see. Bam. What's your stance? Come on, come live and give me your stance as a Muslim. What's your stance? Roe versus Wade. Does it affect us? Is it our argument? I don't think so. I don't think this is a Muslim conversation. This is not for us. This is not our discussion.
Can you pin the comment of American for them? It's more easy.
Which
Just
one?
click in the link comment and pin it at the top.
This one, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. On
Pin
the
it at the
YouTube,
top.
not StreamYard. On the YouTube, not
Yeah,
StreamYard.
gotcha. Yeah, I always keep my YouTube closed because I run over Starlink, and so when you have both running, it kind of lags me.
Hmm.
But give me a
Can
second.
I elaborate on that? Like,
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So women in general, like Muslim women are no exception, will will defend other women rights to do something wrong, even if they believe it's wrong. And I'll give simple example. And you said you see this in all male female discussion online. Like, what about being stripper? Like, is the stripper should got a good husband? She will tell you that I'm not stripper, I will never be a stripper, but yes, she should not be judged based on her past and on her like dancing or being stripper. While she do not believe that stripper is a good job, she will never do it herself, but she will defend other women doing it. And why is that? That's got back to female nature. Uh, Skinny women will defend fat women for being fat. Why? You're not fat. Uh, Young women will defend old women being single. Why? You're not old. A single virgin girl will defend divorcees women with a lot of children, and she's not, but she will defend them. So that like we should go back to female nature, because that's pack thinking. That's pack way of thinking. They think in a pack. That's what they call it, تفكير جمعي, collective way of thinking. And that's give some woman, as I said before, free of jail card. If I got in that position of that woman one day, I want to be able to do what she's doing to get off the hook myself. While I
Mm.
do not believe that I will reach it, but as an emergency plan, I will keep the option open. I do not believe in abortion, but if someday I got pregnant out of the wedlock, I should be able to do that legally and safely. So that's the only explanation that I can think from. Like, what do you think, bro?
No, it sounds right. No, absolutely. I guess that's it. But it's a bit weird because the thing that bothers me the most is, again, I understand we have a sisterhood. In a sense, to a degree, we have a brotherhood, right? But at the end of the day, what do we override the brotherhood with? Islam.
Mm,
Islam overwrites everything. Do I
mm,
feel sympathy for men out there, non-Muslim men who have to deal with like the relationship market and the way it is? Absolutely. But at the same time, I can't support their actions. I have dudes, they learn, excuse me, I tell dudes learn game, right? Learn game. So you can have a happy, long-lasting marriage. But don't learn game for the same thing that the non-Muslim dudes do, which is to go out and smash and dash everything that you possibly can, right? So I mean, there has to be limits, and our limit is Islam. So yeah, I get it, the sisterhood and all that type of stuff. But come on, ladies, we're Muslims here. When what separates us if just everything that everybody does just because they're the same gender is okay? And which brings us to another point: is some of these some of these sisters, man. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. This madness. This madness. Y'all gonna love this stuff. You're gonna, and this is some of the reasons I'm gonna show you. This is one of the reasons I think that our sisters are mad because of people like this. And Chrome tab, bink, bink. Let me make sure this is sharing properly. We got this person here. We know who this is. This woman.
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah. Excuse me. I have to breathe deep every time I see this woman, man. I don't like her. According to Representative Omar, abortion is a democratic right, and even illegal migrants should take medical support, etc. A Muslim who thinks abortion is a right. Just unbelievable. And we know she's doing all sorts of other stuff. She's not just on, this whole type of stuff. But we got sisters out here like her. And she's done some pretty wicked stuff publicly. I'm not gonna, there's no tech fear. I'm not gonna make tech fear on her, but she's out here just that woman is wilding out. I've never seen anybody more publicly horrible, and then while rocking a hijab than her. But anyway, What is it? I'm trying to.
She was
So anyway,
dancing in the rainbow bullshit, like in the
yeah, yeah,
street,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
people
The
saw it.
the the alphabet people parade. Yes, she was
Yeah,
there.
the trans gentleman.
You know, whatever reason, some of y'all sisters out here supporting this madness. The hive mind, whatever else. Because you want to sympathize and empathize. Like my wife said, because they just want to do the opposite and rebel. Whatever the case may be, I want to come back to my initial point that I make almost every video recently because I'm aiming a lot of videos at you sisters lately. You're obviously very good at making bad decisions and choices. And obviously, this is something that transcends religion.
Mm.
Now, brothers, I want you to look at this stuff. And hopefully, you have not seen what I've seen on my Facebook recently, which are a bunch of sisters supporting or being angry about Roe versus Wade being overturned. I want you to look at this, though, and I want you to pay close attention. When you're out here making the apotheosis of these sisters, if you don't know what apotheosis is, Google it. It is to make someone into an angelic, blameless being. I want you to stop and think about that and like, wait a minute, what am I doing? The next time you want to, you know, Rudy Roo about Abuamerican and how bad he is and that he's a misogynist woman hater and all sorts of other type of stuff. I'm
Yeah, and
not.
he's taking all women off the market.
I know I'm bros. I'm out here yanking these sisters off the market. I'm topped up 4 wives. The misogynist man is pulling them in. Just got my fishing pole. I ain't even fishing. I'm hooking them. I'm just like throwing the hook out there and I'm sparing them. So yeah, guys, I absolutely love women, but they are humans just like us. They ain't floating around with halos and harps or whatever else, or whatever concept you have in your head. I mean, anyway, I don't want to get into that comment, bro. But brother's making some wild comments, man. MashaAllah. So remember this when you look at some of these sisters, man. Obviously we have, Iman is different in every individual. It's higher in some and it's lower in other. But whatever's going on, I was kind of hoping we get some sisters here, get some commentary going on, come on a show and like, give me your take on this Roe versus Wade. What's your take on Roe versus Wade, this woman over there? Abortion's no longer allowed. What's your issue? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not allowed. It's not that it's not allowed, but they basically from the federal level, they like said, hey, we ain't involved no more. It's like
I don't even know it's Roe and what?
Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
I just read it all. You wasn't here?
Yeah. It's just
You're the only woman that's willing to talk. You ain't even got nothing to say. You make me
of
suspicious.
course I pro not your body, not your choice.
It's stupid asking her. She got a whole bunch of kids. So she'll have kids until her womb breaks. So
I guess we lost Abuamerican here. Okay, guys, can you? Am I here? Can you
that
hear
was
me?
wild.
Yeah, we
I
got
don't
him
know
back.
why.
We
I don't know
got him
why I
back.
popped out of the studio there. I see they're after me now. They're like, we're gonna get you, Abuamerican.
Okay.
That was wild. So let's go into something else here. Something funny. Now you have to imagine something. These same people, these are the same ones that told us that we got to take injections, that it's mandatory we should take these injections. When they talk about bodily autonomy, my body, my choice. These same people are the same ones that told us that we absolutely need to take these injections. What happened to that? Now all of a sudden they're mad because my body, my choice no longer applies. Well, they try to take away for 2 years. 2 years they try to tell me that my body, I don't have a choice. Now all of a sudden, wait, what? Hold on here. It's kind of funny. I would like to think that whole injection thing for this pandemic that had a 99.96% survival rate was the cause of this. They're like, hey, if we could force people or to take injections, then we can force people to have kids. How so very ironic.
I believe that they should legislate that, by the way, Abu American. Like like women who are capable of having children, she should
Hmm.
have three or more. If I become a ruler, and I don't want to be, because that's a lot of responsibility in front of God. If I became a ruler, I will incentivize women to get three or more children, like married women, three or more children, and who got less than that after 5 years of marriage, or like 10 years of marriage, she will be punished, or sort of being punished, because you are not productive member of the society if you are one of the causes of the demographical decline of our nation. You're not doing your biological basic job. You are useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This lady here says if abortion becomes illegal, then a man leaving a woman who's pregnant should be too. If a woman can't back out of a pregnancy, neither can a man. This really just comes back to, although this isn't a Muslim woman, it comes back to the simple point of
Have to blame somebody.
women are mad because they have to be responsible now. They
Yeah.
they can no longer be good at making bad choices.
Mm.
They love being good at making bad choices. They love that. And now they can't do it anymore. And that's the reality. That's my humble estimation. And I think somewhere along the lines that some of these sisters who are like mad, they want to be those women. I always make that statement. Not all women are whores, but they all wish they could be. And so somewhere in that mentality, they're like, well, if I was a hoe, I wish I could get an abortion because they're just irresponsible. I live in a house full of women. Let me tell you something about women. I've lived with a lot of women, guys. Sometimes to the point that you guys get mad at me. Oh, Americans had so many divorces. Let me tell you something. A lot of women are bums. I live with some. Some of them, they're bums. You should laugh at
You're looking at me.
because you know I'm right. Women are bums in general. They're bums. I love them to death. Don't get me wrong. I got 4 of them, but they are like, yo, just
I guess
bad.
that's why they are meant to be housewife, right?
Yes, it's just bad choice, bad decisions, bad decision policies, and you're like, yo, dude, what are you doing? I cannot name a single wife from my first one up to today that it hasn't just like you like. Did you really just do this? Bad choices, bad decisions. Abortion is like the get out of jail card. Just like you, when you excuse it because you're a simp husband and you excuse your bad choices and decisions, as a simp husband, you don't call her to account for it, you're her get out of jail card. I think it's just something like that. They just want like this universal get out of jail card. And when it comes down to, well, unprotected, irresponsible intercourse, this makes it easy. Just imagine how many women out here are going to have to answer some awkward questions when they pop up pregnant and their husband's possibly or potentially sterile. There's no longer the option to be like, it's a miracle, honey. Well, it hasn't been a miracle for the past 10 years. Now all of a sudden it worked. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that you suddenly got pregnant the year that abortion became illegal, where it became difficult to get an abortion? What's going on here, guys? Why? Someone help me with these sisters, man. You know, let's see what this is right here. To answer your GK, what's good, man? To answer your title question, it's because they're naturally women first. Muslim is secondary. This could be. This is your screen, Coach Cream.
Yeah. Can you show it to
Okay,
people?
yeah, yeah, okay.
Let me shock them. Let me shock them. That's in the United States 2 years ago, guys. Women celebrates her 100th abortion at 38. She's just 38 years old. She did 100 abortion. that's cruel. That's cruel, and you can't find that anywhere else in the planet except in the US. That's a real that's a real story, by the way.
Man,
100 abortion. Yeah,
she ain't got a womb. She got a graveyard, man. She aborted a whole kindergarten.
yeah. She killed
Can
the
you
whole
imagine that?
school.
Can you imagine that? A woman is considered prolific if she has 10 kids. This lady was pregnant 100 times. In her lifetime, she could have had 100 kids. Can you imagine? Women that had like 15, 20 kids were considered amazing. This woman has been pregnant and aborted 100 times. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. A mass murderer. Why are Muslim women like mad about this? Is this right here? This is what you mad about? That you can't that women can't like kill 100 people? 43 million killed last year. Last year, 43 million people, guys. She's a percentage on her own.
Got
Yeah,
85 counts.
This is facts right here. Wala wa bara. Whose side you on? Well, it might not be a wala wa bara issue, but it's definitely a big issue. That's a big one. It's a big
mm,
issue.
Wow.
Sisters, sisters, I don't know what's going on. If y'all want us to, respect your choices, your decisions, your statements, you got it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can excuse them because it's like when we look at the percentages of sisters, I was like, when I go on Twitter, I don't see a whole bunch of sisters supporting this. It was only Facebook. I don't know why Facebook is special in degeneracy, but yes, Assad on Facebook. I go on Facebook. Excuse me. I go on Facebook about once a month. It's always a mistake. Every time I go on there, it's just a mistake. It's just this horrible place. It's really just terrible. But I got to run my ads for my business and whatnot. On there, I run ads over Facebook, and so I go there, guys. It's a mess. So I went on there today, and at first this was supposed to be the Eben Phillips show, where I was just gonna answer questions, people's relationship questions, whatnot. And then I just saw this, and I was like, "What is going on here? What? Oh, Instagram too. Alhamdulillah, I didn't see that, man. See, I don't go on Instagram. I don't go on Instagram unless a brother tags me or hits me up or something, and then I go on Instagram and I check it or I share something.
That's nice.
You know. So then I'll share like stuff from Coach Kareem, or excuse me, from Mehdi and whatnot. I don't know if I've seen you on there a whole lot, Coach Kareem, but like Nazir and whatnot, they're very active there, and so I'll share their posts and whatnot. But otherwise, I'm not really active on Instagram. So it's very unfortunate the sisters are on there mad about this too. Maybe I should get banned too, because it's just a mess there. A bunch of heathens there, man. It's nothing but simps and white knights, and then like evil, weird sisters on some evil, weird stuff. So
yeah.
anyway,
Facebook banned me after 120K followers. By the way,
yeah.
they don't like what I say.
So I got a thing here. I don't know if I can. I can't share it unfortunately, but there's some. Oh, she's a politician. She's a Muslim politician, and she says, "Did you know Muslim scholars have understood the complexity of abortion and have permitted it in many cases until the fetus reaches 120 days and when the mother's life is at risk? When the mother's life is at risk, we understand the 120 days. We know it's battle because they broke down the initial pregnancy into the first 40, into three sections of 40 days, and then we saw." What we know and we understand from the council, from the religious council in
Scholars.
Saudi, scholars, the council in Saudi Arabia, is that in the first 40 days is when they're basically saying you can't do it. So this is already someone like she's like making. I don't know if you can use the term, but she's making like a top wheel of the fatwa. She's like twisting it up. Banning abortion only threatens our bodily autonomy. You don't have bodily autonomy; it's not yours.
Mm, yeah.
it, if I had bodily autonomy, then I could do whatever I wanted with it. That means that I could drink pork. I drink pork. I could drink alcohol and eat pork because I have bodily autonomy. No, I'm not allowed to do with my body what I please. I have rulings from Allah and His Messenger, and then if something is a new technology or whatever, then a new ruling comes into place that rules whether or not it's permissible or not based upon what we understand from the book and the sunnah. There is no bodily autonomy in this regard in Islam. There is to a degree, but things like this, when it comes to to another human life, nah, come on, man. And then it says, but also the exercise of a religious freedom. So now all of a sudden, the practice of religious freedom, according to a female Muslim politician, abortion is a what? Is a religious freedom? It's insane. It's insane. Nah, I'm not fooled, bro. You don't. It's not. I'm not fooled.
Black Ops, yeah, they are the same woman, the same group of women.
Now,
Who wrote that? No, Jawad. Yeah, they are the same group of women, Jawad, who
for sure.
support the LGBTQXYZ plus Ultra HD 4K plus. Yeah, they are the same group.
Yeah, these sisters are the same type that support exactly, the alphabet people. But unfortunately, these sisters, these women, they have a very large following from amongst our sisters. And I don't know, man. I was kind of hoping to get some sisters on here, but I put it on my Facebook. They all ghost. Not one of them want to show up here because at the end of the day, yeah, exactly. They know it's wrong. Like my wife just said, they know it's wrong. They'll be ashamed to come on here and like not even show their face. You ain't gotta show your face. Just let people hear your voice trying to kick that stuff. Not one's gonna show up.
Mhm.
If you got an opinion, you're more than welcome to come on. I got the StreamYard link in the description, and it's a pinned comment. Give us your take. What's going on here, brothers? Anybody who's brave and got a statement, come on and let us hear it. Drop it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sisters have bought into a lot of the left wing agenda. This is true. What are you gonna say, Coach?
Yeah, I'm saying like I just remembered Sheikh Sha'rawi, rahimahullah. He was a great mufassir, and he was talking about the ayah which is have the punishment of stealing in Quran. He was
Yeah.
making tafsir of it, and a lot of people around him. It is in video, by the way. He died around 15 years ago, so there's a lot of videos of him. He was saying, do you know, like when we talk about to cut off the thief hand, and there's an exception with if he's in if he like if he's hungry and taking food to eat, or taking his necessary minimum to eat or to feed himself, that's not applied. Like there is no punishment applied in this case. That's exception. In the other cases, do you know who will be starts a rebel, being rebellious against the punishment? You have to be either one of two. You have to be a thief or a potential thief in the future. Because for me myself, like if you ask me, like we want to cut the thief hand, I say, yeah, go ahead. If you said we want to cut both of his hands, I say, okay. You want to cut his hands and legs, I say, so what? I do not care. For me, that does not harm me. But if you saw someone, no, that's crucial, no, do not do that, that's so harsh, that's so brutal, that's no, he is a thief or a potential thief in the future. That's the two only cases that they will defend a theft. And in this case, I can say, I don't know if I can say that. Like she's a hoe or a potential hoe in the future. Convince me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think you are. You know, I have to ask myself. I mean, maybe you can answer the question. What do we do about these sisters, man? I mean, we keep telling brothers to be better, do better. Be the best they can, be more religious, be stronger, be smarter, be more confident. But these sisters out here just on some next stuff, man.
For,
I
for
mean,
me,
obviously,
I do not talk to women because they do not listen. I always talk to men.
yeah. Well, I mean, actually, there are a few that listen, but it's like such a minority. But we have to wonder, it's like, what are we preparing these brothers for? Obviously, and I think it's obvious, and I'd like to think it's obvious that we're dealing with a minority here, but we don't know. I mean, this has been good for exposing that minority, but they are quite vociferous. They're very loud. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My man Yusuf, I love this brother, man. What do we do? How do we fix this? It's madness.
Social isolation. That's the most efficient way to treat rebellious women. Social isolation. Do not give them attention. Do not agree with them. Let them feel isolated socially. Like that's the best way to treat rebellious females in general. But I'll say this. By supporting, like from Islamic point of view, by supporting non-Shari rules, that's a big deal in Islam. And there's several school of thoughts about it, and there's several ayahs. There's several ayahs talking about this. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. In the second ayah, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. In the third ayah, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. So you will be one of three. One is a kafir, disbeliever. Two is a fasiq, hypocritic. The third is zalim, which is you're doing injustice to the humanity and to your Islamic nation. So you have to choose one of these three. If you are supporting an un-Islamic rule by saying, because it is not the legislator only, Abuamerican, you know that. It is not the legislator only. If you are saying, oh, that's good, and it is against Sharia, you're doing a big sin, a really big sin. Because what you're saying, like underline of what you're saying is that's better than God legislation. This man legislation is better than God legislation because that's better. So that's good and that's bad. Okay, who's the ruler in the first case is God. Who's the ruler in the second phase? A liberal fat fuck. So this guy has a better ruling over Allah ruling. So you will be in a very critical situation in Akhirah. Like just take care. Take care.
Indeed. Intebe, be careful.
Hmm?
I don't know if a sister's ever going to get this far in this video, but sisters, how do you expect brothers? How do I word this? I don't even know how to word this. They want us to like not be controlling, not be toxic or whatever they call it, and all these terms they make up and adapt from people who know nothing about, Islam, Iman, whatever else. If you don't want brothers like to be controlling, going, watching you, controlling your movements, your statements, whatever else, online, offline, whatever else, why on earth would you be okay with this stuff that's going on right here? I mean, this is pretty serious stuff. Like the brother's saying, this is serious, man. And I challenge you brothers out here. I'm going to put the accountability on you. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Okay? This stuff isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility. These women out here, these sisters making these comments that I saw on Facebook, that we're seeing on Instagram, that's y'all's women. Y'all need to check your women, man. I don't care if you're toxic, whatever else, or whatever they want to call you. Y'all brothers need to get it together, man. Y'all need to cowboy up and get these women under control, because there's something going on. That's just you don't have any shame? Whoa, Peter. I got, as far as I know, all my wives are watching this live right now. I dare one of you to post something crazy pro Roe versus Wade. Homie, you done. There's no way you get a chance to delete it. You don't delete it, you're gone. That's it. Khalas. This is not like, what are you guys doing? If my daughter posted that, my daughter lives with her mom 7 hours away. I'm gonna call her up and I'm gonna call her, but I'm like, yo, you get her phone. I don't care if you mail it to me, you delete that. I'm gonna come down there on the weekend and we're gonna talk. But after I get your phone, delete your account and then break your phone in half. Good luck in the proper understanding of the Al-Qaeda, buying a new one on your own. Y'all terrified to do that. Then you wonder why we got sisters out here doing stuff like this. Yeah, Abuamerican's that toxic. Yes, I am. Wallahi, I'm that toxic. I see my daughter post something like that. I will straight up take the 7-hour one-way drive to break her phone. All the best in trying to get another one without me. What are you brothers doing out here, man? I don't think it's the people who watch Abuamerican, but just as a general sense, what are you doing? They're your women. Y'all come to Abuamerican's channel. Some of y'all, you're mad at me about women, but it ain't mine out there talking about all this crazy on the internet. So let's go with the premise that we can't expect responsible actions and behaviors from women because they are good at making bad choices. Well, it's where you come in, Kareem. Not you, Coach Kareem. But you know what I'm saying.
Jawad comment. Jawad, that's a weak statement. How do we check them if they go nuts on us? You know what? Like you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, man. Like if you're afraid of your female reaction, like no, that's not type of man that I want to be. You know, like I wish guys like you know specifically how I deal with females in my family. I'm very friendly. They respect me a lot, but they know when I say this shit is not happening, they know that this is real shit. And like if we do that, it's gonna be a fucking tornado taking off the whole fucking building. So they should be afraid of your reaction if they do some bullshit. It is not otherwise. They are doing what they want, and like if I say something, I'm afraid of the reaction. Who's the leader here? Like who's the head of the household? Who's the qawwam? Do you know what Ibn Abbas? Ibn Abbas is Habr al-Ummah, which is a Sahabi. Ibn Abbas he's the Prophet Muhammad uncle, and Prophet Muhammad make a da'wah that God give him knowledge. So he was like a main reference in that era for Shari'i knowledge of the whole Ummah. Do you know what he says about Ayat al-Qawama? He says, القائم عليها هو حاكمها هو حاكمها والقائم عليها ومؤدبها إذا عوجت, which is he's the ruler over her and he's the watcher over her and he's the one who can get her back on the path if she deviate. What does that mean? Does that mean you are afraid of her reaction? What's she gonna say? What is it she? No, it is the otherwise. When she want to do such stupid comment, she should think what my husband gonna say about that, what my dad gonna say about that. She should be afraid of your reaction, not the otherwise. Don't you think, Abuamerican?
Yeah, no, absolutely. What he's talking about, what our brother's talking about here, Jawad, is like, let me post it again. How do we check them if they go nuts on us? What's happened here is this. I think it's Rich Cooper. He called it like, what is it called? Betatization by 1,000 concessions. What's happened is over the years, you've just allowed your women folk to just, maybe not you in specific, Jawad. I don't know. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. You let your women like take a position of power over you by just like constantly beating you down over time. And you can't do that. We can't we can't have this because we are the ones that are in charge. We have been left with authority over women, not the other way around. So yeah, it sounds like, if you worried about the reaction of your woman, what's she gonna do? She gonna punch you in the chin? You gonna be knocked out later on the floor? What you scared of her reaction for? She goes nuts. She gonna wrestle you to the ground or something, put you in a chokehold. She gonna scream really loud. What's she gonna do?
Imagine a CEO of American. Imagine a CEO like come and telling you that I'm afraid to tell this receptionist that she can't do that. I'm afraid of her reaction. Tell them, like, pull up your skirt and grab your balls and learn how to be a man. Really, you're a CEO and you're afraid of a receptionist. Really, to tell her what to do and what not to do. This is your position in the Islamic marriage institution. You are the CEO of this family. So are you afraid of telling a supporter employee what to do and what not to do? You're afraid of his reaction? Really? No, no, no. Can't take it.
I mean, Jawad, he's bringing some points here, so it's nice. You know, we ain't jumping on you, bro. We working with you here. They tell me not to fight with the family, and then I'm breaking up with the family. Okay, but then they're okay with like the family going astray at the hands of women. You know, you got to see. Here's where you, Jawad, you got to use your male logical power. You have you have something that women don't, and you've got mental prowess, and you have to use it. Your mental power is it's predatory. This is why they always blame men for everything. It's why we're such monsters because our intellect is so powerful that it can be predatory. Don't be afraid to be a predator. There's no in between. You're a predator to prey. Where's the in between in the wild? There's no in between. It's predator, it's prey. Be at the top of the food chain, bro. Mentally, intellectually, bully. And don't be afraid of it. And when I say bully, I'm not saying you just going around just whacking people over the head randomly because you're a wanker, as the British would say. No. But there is a time and a place for everything. And this is that time and this is that place. What do you think you're doing? And then you take your intellect, you take your power, you take your mentality, like I said, competence. This is something that you need to learn, right? And your confidence, and you absolutely destroy anybody who stands against anything that opposes the truth, you know, or just basic common sense. And then what do? You also work out because it all ties together. So now when you look at me, I'm standing over someone and I'm beating them down mentally. They understand also like I don't think I can fight this guy. I can't beat him intellectually. I definitely can't beat him up physically. Let me just rethink my strategy here. You control that frame in that house. It's checkmate. You don't have anything here. Like, what is it, Lord of the Rings? You have no power here. This is why you pay the bills. This is why you keep your mind sharp. This is why you keep your body sharp. It's not
Keep
just, this is not
keep
all
your
just like,
options open.
yes, this is not just do stuff for the sake of doing stuff. This all has a purpose. And when it ties together, it's perfect. I'm not talking about being threatening or whatever else. You don't have to be threatening. I mean, you can be. This is part of the miswhack. Everybody's like, you know, when they say your wife disobeyed, you hit her with the miswhack. What did the ulama say this means? It's to show her that I can physically overpower you. He could physically overpower her, but he chooses not to. He hits her with the miswhack. But if I chose to, I could just rush you to the ground. I could just throw you around. I could pick you up and just toss you. I could ragdoll you, quite literally. Abuamerican at 50 years old can deadlift 200 kilos. You don't think I could throw my like couple of kilo wife around like she's nothing? Obviously, we don't do this, but that's the point. You understand that on all levels, there's a hierarchy. And you just can't come around, you know, hey, I got an IT degree and I make a little bit of money. And now all of a sudden, it's like she's supposed to just listen to you. Just like, man, whatever. I work in HR. I'll fire you. You know what I mean? Bro.
Okay, there's a couple of comments, bro. CT says, Akhi, they can call the police in the West. Do you think I don't know that? Like, really, do you think, are you shocking me by telling me this? This is 5 years old, like, level of thinking. Of course, I know that. I'm not telling you to rock up the home to do physical injuries, but
Yeah.
you have the relationship in your hand. You can leave. You can replace her. So, and women are afraid of that more than they are afraid of getting beaten. By the way, And like the second comment, which is Phoenix saying, Coach Kareem fails to perceive that modern Muslim often think they are the CEO. I'm not failed to understand that. You want to be a modern Muslim? Just go and just be one. Like, and do not cry about it. I'm telling you the antidote of that. I'm telling you the solution. If you don't like the solution, keep going as you are doing. Just keep going. Like, if you are going with the liberal leftist modern way of being a husband, that's good for you. Do not complain. Do not complain. Keep quiet. If you want to be a successful in your marriage, a masculine man in your marriage, the head of the household, I'm giving you some solutions. If you don't want to do it, keep quiet. That's easy.
Give me 1 second. I want to comment on this right here. I can get called police on you. Let me tell you something. You know why a woman calls police on you? Because you're not her best and highest available option.
Mhm.
100%. I got a brother. He had to leave the country, the United Kingdom, because his woman called the cops on him. And I can tell you, and I love this brother to death. I'm not insulting him, but he's definitely, I don't think he followed all my instructions. I could see he didn't follow all my instructions. And so he wasn't her highest possible option. She's not going to wreck or ruin her options with a high value guy. She's not going to do that. She's not going to risk it. I've had bad, 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 horrible relationships. Horrible, horrible stuff has happened. Stuff I'm, as a man, 100% not proud of. The reason why I can at times be very loose with a divorce, because I said to myself, because I was a man, I've admitted it before, I'll say it again. I put hands on a woman, and I said to myself, I'll never do it again. And so when a woman pushes me to that point where I'm like, you know what, I just want to karate chop this girl, that's it, you're gone. It's zero forgiveness. Zero. If you bring me to that point where that pops in my head, where my chest is like, it's fight or flight, you're gone. I'm not even going to negotiate it, because once you can get me there, that means you can get me to me there fast, and then you can keep on pushing me past that point.
Mm.
So, guess what's never happened? Even in my worst times, I've never had a woman call the cops on me. Never. Why would a woman call the cops on you unless you are somebody she's like, she's going to call the cops on you because she don't like you. If a woman likes you, if you're her highest possible man, and this goes back to, now we drag in a whole different conversation into this one, being the best that you can be as a man, guess what? She's not going to call the cops on you. You might think I'm full of it. I'm telling you, women don't call the cops on guys they like. I've seen women literally put child support on a guy that they know is not the father, and then tell the guy that they know is the father, I put him on child support, don't worry.
Mm.
They punish men they don't like. They destroy them. A woman calls cops on you, you really got to question, like, dang, you have to ego check yourself. And you got to really tear that down. That's probably more painful than the woman jamming you up like that. Is that your self-perceived value in her eyes is not even close to what you think it is. That's painful. So if a woman calls the cops on you, Muslim or non-Muslim, anybody who gotten this far,
This is very important about American.
you
Look
are
at
messed up.
Jawad. This is very important about American. Look at Jawad's response. He's saying, "I will take your advice, inshallah. Thank you very much." When
Inshallah.
we give advice to female, they will always arguing. They will always arguing, being self-centered, and have the need to be right all the way to the finish. When you give advice, even if it's harsh, and I'm a harsh man. Like, I know, I confess, I admit it. So when we give advice to guys, like, especially like, I believe Jawad is a member of our community, right? Of the men's community of American, right? I do not hear you. You muted yourself.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think Jawad's in the community. I have a TikTok video that was
Mm,
sent to me, and I can't get the sound to play on it, and I don't know why. I want to play it, but the sound won't play, and I don't know why.
mm.
It's a sister supporting Roe versus Wade.
So yeah, that's why I prefer to talk to men, because men understand the logic and they say thank you.
Yeah.
Women, no, they will argue for the next 6 hours with no logic. No, thank you. My time is valuable.
Why? Why is it not working? Oh man. There's a video here of a woman supporting. She's a Muslim woman. And she's mad about Roe versus Wade, and I'm trying to get it to play. Use my phone. I don't know how that's gonna work with my phone. I'm really not sure. Hold on, let me just see if I can figure it out here. Why is it not working? Everything says it's working and it's not. I don't understand. Hmm. Give me a second. Let me try and open it up again. I don't know why it's not working. Man, there's like they're pouring in now. Sorry guys. This got like multiple videos. Um, Phoenix Knight with the $10 Australian super chat. Barakallah feek, bro. Jazakallah khair. Coach Kareem, my comment was cynically pertaining to what I observed from my sister-in-law, disrespecting her husband for 20 years. So this is the 1,000 concession by death or betaization by 1,000 concessions. 20 years she worked on him. Now her adult daughter won't listen to her father. No advice is accepted.
Yeah, you can't fix such situation. You can leave.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
you
you
can.
have nothing left at that point.
You
You
can't
know,
like after a female took you as a beta sucker, you can't turn yourself to alpha in the same relationship. It's very hard. You can't. You can't just switch from beta to alpha. You can't. You can't. I'm dealing this way with female since I was 15 years old. Like everybody know how I deal with them. They know how I deal with them. I did not became like that yesterday. No.
yeah, this is one of the reasons why I'm really big on like female behavior and vetting. It's like you have to look at like these type of behaviors and how she like her ideas and her concepts prior to marriage, because basically when you have kids, how she treats you, that's the reproductive model of how your children think they can treat you and how they can treat their future partner or be treated by their future partner. So now his daughter thinks that's okay behavior, and that's going to be okay to treat her husband in the way that her mother treats him, and how she in turn treats her father. Do you think she's going to treat her future husband, any better? Obviously not. And if they had a son, the son would look at how the mother's acting and he would think this is an acceptable way for my wife to treat me because that's how mom treated dad.
Yeah.
Guys, picking a partner, you cannot underestimate how important this is. Y'all can get as mad as you want at me for all divorces I got. There's no way I'm tolerating certain behaviors in my house because I understand long term how that affects a child. And when you have a child, and that's normally what happens when I got 9, I know. Do I want my son to grow up to be like some buster sucker punk or whatever else being run over? And I'm not trying to cuss your family here. That's all I'm saying. But it's like I don't want my kids getting run over by some woman over some goofy stuff, especially when he's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Susie Q said it. Or I'll sleep on the couch. No, you're not. What you talking about? I own the bed and the couch and the house. I'm sleeping where I want to. I'll sleep on top of the bed, under the bed, wherever I want. If anybody's sleeping on the couch, you're sleeping on the couch. So you gotta instill this type of mentality and behavior into your sons. Yeah.
And by the way, Abu American, like we should remind guys that it always start with a small thing. When I like when people book me for counseling, and when they mention their story, and I break it down, like from the time of khutuba, for example, to the time that he's married for 5 years. It
Hmm.
always starts with small thing, very, very, very small thing. And like when people in general tell me, no, Coach Karim, this is very small thing. This is minority. Like this is mine. Like this is very small thing. Like you just do a micro management. No, this is irrelevant. No, it is. You know why? Because women like to test their boundaries, and when they find out that this fence is not electrified, they will jump on it. They will jump on it to the next one. They will touch the next one, and they will find this is not electrified also, so they will jump on it. They will break your rules one by one, by one by one, until they do whatever they want, and you will be like a fucking chair in this house. Like your opinion is not needed. I'll do whatever I want. But
Let me see.
it never been a 1 day switch. It is, as Abu American says, it is betatization through thousand concession. It always starts with a small thing.
Let me see if the sound works when I play it here. It says the sound is playing. Maybe it's just because I'm talking here and it's overriding using this tab.
احترم
No, it's
نفسك.
not
ستوب
playing.
ستوب. ايه يا مريم؟
Can you guys hear the
اتلم
sound?
واحترم نفسك.
حاسه ان في يوم من الايام ممكن تعملي حاجه تهم الناس؟
حاسه اني
Is
هقوم
there any sound for
اكسر
you, Kareem?
الترابيزه دي على دماغك، فاتلم بقى واحترم
ايه
نفسك.
ستوب ستوب. ايه يا مريم؟
اتلم واحترم نفسك.
حاسه ان في يوم من الايام ممكن تعملي حاجه تهم الناس؟
حاسه اني هقوم اكسر الترابيزه دي على دماغك، فاتلم بقى واحترم
ايه
نفسك.
ستوب ستوب. ايه يا مريم؟
اتلم واحترم نفسك.
حاسه ان في يوم من الايام ممكن تعملي حاجه تهم الناس؟
حاسه اني هقوم اكسر الترابيزه دي على دماغك، فاتلم بقى واحترم
ايه
نفسك.
ستوب ستوب. ايه يا مريم؟
اتلم واحترم نفسك.
حاسه ان في يوم من الايام ممكن تعملي حاجه تهم الناس؟
حاسه اني هقوم اكسر الترابيزه دي على دماغك، فاتلم بقى واحترم نفسك.
Yeah, we listened. We could hear her.
Yeah, okay. I can't hear it for some reason. The sound is not working for me.
I think your audio.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working for me. It's strange. Sorry, guys. It's working. Man, I'm getting now the stuff is rolling in. I'm getting like a lot of links here. It's like more than I can actually keep up with. So she's got another one. It's that same girl.
Her name. Her username.
Give me 1 second. Let me share this one too. Oh my, this lady, she's like extra bad. But this is just one. Oops, sorry, this wrong one. Share screen, audio, Chrome tab, and let's share this one.
Don't give two craps. And being pro-life is a lie because they don't care if people die. They don't care that the people in that same camp are the ones voting for policies that continue to kill people. That those people in that camp are continuing to vote for policies, more war. They're the same people who supported the Supreme Court decision that overturned a law in New York that limited your right to have guns. They said that you can just have a handgun in order to, self-defense. But pro-life, right? The same pro-life people are the ones who spew homophobic, Islamophobic, racist, xenophobic, anti-Asian hate. They're transphobic. These are the same people who want to limit people's rights, but they're the same people who wouldn't put on a freaking mask. They didn't care about people's lives at the height of a pandemic before a vaccine existed. And then it's the same camp of people who wouldn't take a vaccine. When it's their bodies, the state shouldn't dictate what it does. But when it's the bodies of other people, it should. Make no mistake. The Supreme Court is not going to get any less conservative. Make no mistake, affirmative action is coming next. Griswold is coming next. Your right to contraception, it's coming next. There is no term.
So you get the
She's-
idea.
She just gathered all the big sins in one video.
So you get the idea. So these women do exist. You know, there's more. Obviously, I have more, but now we're like so late into the show. It all kind of showed up a little late. You know, it's madness out here. We got sisters, and yeah, guys. Check your women.
Contraceptions for all women, like birth control pill, like for 15-year-old and 13-year-old, like non-married Muslim women. Why do you need it for? Can you tell
Exactly.
me?
Yeah, exactly. It's insane. It's insane out there, guys. Check your women, please, guys. You know, and sisters, I don't know, y'all. You know that famous statement: "Do better." Y'all gotta do better. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. What's wrong with y'all? You know, maybe this has been a perfect time for y'all guys to see that things that I've been saying for years. Now it's like so blatant you can't deny that Abuamerican's been right the whole time. I think at some point you're gonna either have to just say, hey, you know what? I'm just a real piece of trash human being and Muslim, or Abuamerican was right. And he was just ahead of the game. I've been ahead of the game on this, guys. I've been telling y'all for quite some time that they're a hot mess. But no, I'm a misogynist. I'm this, I'm that. Abuamerican's terrible. He's horrible. Whatever, yada, 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 yada. But you know why I was ahead of the game? Because I had to marry these women. Astaghfirullah. Let's just be real. I ended up marrying a lot of these women. And then I was like, yo, hold up. Is it me or is it them? And then I looked at my mistakes. And I rectified my mistakes for the most part. I mean, I still have some problems, but, you know, I'm a human being, human fallibility. But that's when I came up with vetting, and I just started looking around. I was like, oh, it's a hot mess out here. Because I stayed off the matrimonial market for 20 years. Basically 24 years, I stayed off the matrimonial market. When I came back on, I ain't know Muslims are a hot mess like this. So, yeah. Some of them might like that. So anyway, guys.
Shekel. It's a hadith, right?
Yeah. This is the hadith is about
No, when Messiah, the Dajjal come,
yeah.
you should put them to shekel.
Yeah, it is about when the Dajjal comes, yes, because like the women will just be following the Dajjal and you gotta chain them up, you know, and it makes sense because they just seem to follow any and everything.
Yeah, most of his followers are women, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, I don't know where else to go with this. We're an hour and 27 minutes, basically an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know where else to go with this, but I just know that this is a real problem, guys. And this is epic level problem right here. I mean, when you see sisters backing stuff like this, I haven't seen a single brother backing it. Have I? I've seen dudes like trying to play the simp game to gain sympathy for it, you know, so that he could maybe try and get a girl. But I haven't seen a guy outright. They never outright support it. They just make these goofy on the fence statements trying to, like, you know, oh, look at me, ladies, you know. It's just as bad. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's lesser, but you understand his motivations. His motivations is hoo-ha. Because he's terrible. He ain't got nothing else. That's how he's gonna try and get girls. Because that's all you see on Facebook. You see corrupted people and simps. There's no in between. But this right here, this is a real problem. Guys, take control of the situation with your women folk. You know, you got to teach them. That's probably the most important thing, is teaching them and educating them and bringing them up to speed. But when that doesn't work, man, take it. Take it. You got to take it. I'm just reading some of the comments here.
Tune in, guys. Like the link for StreamYard is pinned in the chat. Tune in, guys.
Yeah. I don't know. You got anything, Coach Kareem? I'm gonna call it quits. I mean, I don't know what else to do because it's like I don't know where to go with this. I was kind of hoping we get some sisters on here to like come in and like just let's hammer it out. Let's go back and forth. But you know, they make these real like bold statements online, but then when it's time to actually have these conversations, they're MIA. They're missing in action.
Yeah, it is Shout out to our boy Rollo Tomasi. It is the ultimate form of hypergamy. The ultimate form of hypergamy, the extreme form of hypergamy is the abortion. Because you just got pregnant by the wrong person. He's not your first choice. He's not the best man that you can. He's not a high value man. So you are not happy having his children. That's why you need a free of jail card to abort your baby, to kill that human being that is a product of your having double monkey double backflip with this guy. And what do? Just kill to party, as as he said, kill to party, kill and go back to party for, looking for another man. There is no excuse for killing human being, like
Yeah.
except in a legal way, which is like if you're defending yourself, you're fighting with another country. He already killed another human being. That's off the topic. But this like little thing, he didn't do anything wrong. And if you're promiscuous, it is not his wrong. Like it is not. If you are poor also. By the way, I want to remind guys that most of the people that change the history of a human being from scientific innovations, they come from poor families. So it is not an excuse that I'm poor, I'm poor. Don't worry. Like difficult environment will produce a good man. Don't
Mm-hmm.
worry, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. And today, in today days, like in today time, modern day time, there's almost no one die out of hunger. And we're talking here about the United States, about west of Europe, about civilized countries. There's no one like that die out of food. No, not really. No. So if you're a poor, when they say they are poor, American, they say that because they lack of the luxurious level of life that they don't have. It is not that they don't have food and water or shelter.
No, of course
No,
not.
because she can't get the Mercedes that she want. She can't get the mansion that she want. She can like she can't get the private island or a private jet or like a $50,000 bag that she want.
Yeah.
I'm struggling financially. I have only 120 dress in my closet. No, you don't. You don't. No, you're not struggling. That's BS. Sorry.
Yeah. No, absolutely, I agree. Guys, we're in a pickle here because apparently, according to the brother Jawad, that there's some simp imams out here like supporting this also. Guys, we're at a, what do you call this? I guess we could just call it a crossroads where we're gonna have to just put, not physically. Don't get me wrong. Don't go out do anything violent, please. I'm not condoning violence, but in an intellectual understanding, we're gonna have to start putting a smackdown on cats out here. That's just how it is. We're gonna have to literally have to start putting smackdowns on cats. There's nothing left. They've left us no choice. Because now they're dragging us as Muslims into this mess, and we don't have anything to do with this. This isn't our conversation. This isn't our discussion. This isn't our problem as Muslims, but they're dragging us into it. So, yeah, something's gonna have to happen, But anyway, I guess this is a wider problem that we need to refer to the ulama for too, and ask them like, what's the next steps? Because all these clowns coming for me. But this is what happens, guys, when you start siding with these weird political parties and ideologies or whatever else. Had the Muslims out here talk about vote for Biden and whatever else. Now look where we at. We're all over the place. You're
You
better
should
with
teach
Trump.
him how to ride a bike, American.
It's madness out here. Whatever it may be. I guess we're gonna call this quits, man. Barakallahu feek, everybody, for tuning in. And if you see some clown out here who wants to fight, you tell that sister, come talk to me. We're gonna have it out on live. I was here. I was waiting. Anything you want to drop, bro, before we go?
No, I'm good. Just like a little announcement about my English show, which is a breakdown series. I'll start it next Sunday on my channel, like with English language for English speaking brothers. And that's going to be a weekly show, a breakdown, like a response and a breakdown for trending videos, like, and let's say controversial videos. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Now, yeah, same as always, Abuamericancowife.com. Everything's still, up and running, still going. Hit your boy up. Barakallahu Feek for tuning in. Jazakallah khair for some of the good comments, and thanks for the people. Jazakallah khair for the people who sent me the whatchamacallit, the links. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We will see you, brothers.
Salam.